have like an armchair in the other room, but I can't, like, you know, moving all the grounding stuff over there to those plugs, and you know, I'll be listening to Dave CD, and then I'll kind of fall asleep on that, but I'll wake up feeling a lot worse, because it seems like if I have that passive shielding of the bunker, along with Dave CD, along with the grounding, you know, I feel better. Now, saying that, and it does attenuate a lot of it. I mean, I'm talking about like over 50% of what they're shooting at me and what they're doing with me. Even the remote neural manipulation and directed dreaming, you know, forcing me to have to use the bathroom and stuff like that. I haven't had to do that. They haven't been able to do that to me in a couple of months, maybe like 2 months, maybe 1.5 months. But even saying that, over 50% attenuation, what is getting through, it's very, very hard for my body to take, because it's been so many years, 7 years that I know that I've been externally attacked. And then, you know, I look back, and I think there were many, many years where I was, I either had state-of-the-art mind control, or they would sporadically torture me, my jaw, my back, and stuff like that. But I thought it was my Crohn's disease, with sporadic gang stalking throughout a lot of years. But seven years of hardcore external, you know, V2K, high-pitched sound, you know, I know I'm being attacked with something. So my body's tired. My body can't take it. Like, I mean, I can barely think now. I didn't even plan on going through, you know, what I used to defend. It's insane what I do, you know, before bed. It's insane, and that is it's probably because I would think secondary effects of this are psychological, like post-traumatic stress, things that happen to your body from the direct torture, that aren't direct pain or direct things to your mind. I would think that'd be a secondary, and I think the tertiary effects would be what we have to use to defend. So I think that would be called tertiary effects. Somebody correct me on that if you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it's just, it's like, you know, multiplications of effects of this stuff, because it's hitting us, it's hurting our body. So then we're trying all these things out. We're experimenting with all these things that, you know, can help attenuate the directed energy. You know, the sonic effects, the electromagnetic effects on our brains and our nervous systems, and that becomes, you know, sort of a cage. Now, I wouldn't switch it. I wouldn't take the things I'm doing away, because I know that I would be in a lot more pain, and it's sometimes hard to bear. Sometimes they get through even with all that stuff and give me a lot of pain. They beef it up. Yesterday was one of those days. It was very, very bad. It seemed like they were able to hit, you know, my electronics. They were hitting my PlayStation 3, my electronic cigarette, my camera phone. They were messing with my computer, and they were doing the V2K, remote neural manipulation, and just, I mean, a lot of things were going on, attacking, just full blast. I mean, I was under fire of directed energy weapon systems. I mean, I am every day, but it was very, very beefed up. It was very, very beefed up. And on one of the calls last night, I learned that, you know, yesterday was a holiday, of course, and a lot of the agencies were off. So I think that a lot of these people from agencies, they, on their day off, they go and they help these people. They may go and they help some of the people on the shift work on the remote stations. So I think they had like kind of a all hands on deck, because it was a vacation. They didn't go on vacation. Some of them actually went and kind of did this. Maybe they picked up a little bit of extra cash. Maybe the people doing it are just friends and they wanted, you know, some extra hands on deck. But it was very, very intense yesterday. I mean, it's a little bit better today, but you know, every day that we go through this, our bodies, you know, are getting tired. You know, we have to rejuvenate and everything like that. But after a while, after years and years and years of kind of, you know, kicking your adrenaline system in and regenerating and stuff like that, it becomes harder and harder. These people just have all the time in the world. You know, my V2K, you know, doesn't give a crap and is not scared of getting caught at all, because of the, you know, because of TIs like, you know, Karen Stewart. We have Karen Stewart and Dr. Eric Karlstrom and you know, Romola D and Dr. Catherine Horton and Ella Free and you know, Terry Brewer and just all these people who they're obviously not insane, and they're obviously getting the word out, and they're, you know, there's a lot of other people you know, getting the word out. You know, Robert Duncan, obviously, Brian too. You know, they're obviously not insane. They're intelligent. They're speaking about this in intelligent ways. And people are still, you know, even calling them crazy, even calling professors, ex-NSA workers, you know, Bill Binney and Kirk Wiebe, you know, even with all these really experts and professionals, you know, helping us, where, you know, people are still kind of on the fence. They don't know what to do about it, if they do believe it. My attackers are, you know, like, they'll say this on V2K sometimes. They'll be the guy or the guys on the shift, because they use the same male voice 24 hours a day. He'll be like, I don't give a fuck. Nobody cares about this guy. Nobody gives a fuck about any of this. So that's the mentality that we're working with. Like, these shift workers, they're like ex-military in my case, maybe in some different protocols. They're maybe private security, or maybe, you know, psychologists or neurobiologists in certain circumstances. In my situation, they're ex-military. I think they're Masons, and they've connected with some of these contractors, you know, that are getting these defense contracts of like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, billions of dollars coming from the DoD, and then Lockheed Martin and, you know, Raytheon and places like that, all put together. And so they're getting money from that money funneled into these third-party contractors. They're picking up those contractors to do research and development on directed energy weapon systems, non-manned systems, manned systems, and they're experimenting on us, the target individuals. And they're changing all these lights on me, like right when I come up to them. I wish I was getting this on tape. I wonder if it's going to be a short light. 1, 2. I'm not going to count it, but anyway, I forgot where I was going with that. But, you know, we have a lot of professionals out there. The people that are doing it to me, you know, they've seen me talk to my parents, and my parents do believe me. I've shown them the Cuban embassy attack. I've, you know, my parents connected the Cuban embassy attacks to what I had already told them before I even went to them with that news, because I told my parents things exactly like that. I was very clear on how this felt. I was very clear on kind of how I thought it worked. And I have a pretty clear, like, there's some whistleblowers like Brian Coffin out there who are putting together the picture, and please pray for him. They are hitting him hard. They don't want him speaking out. You know, and he, like, the things that he said pretty much match up with what I had in my head, what my research had shown. And what I've kind of learned, what I've gleaned. I wouldn't say learn from my V2K, because never listen to your V2K if it tells you what it is. But you can glean stuff about them by how they act. You know, and even that's kind of suspect, because they're surveillance role players. They're building a narrative that kind of fits to what you think, or what they want you to think. This is very, very evil stuff. You know, I just felt like I had to make a video today, but it's scary when it is a full-scale directed energy weapon systems attack on me wherever I go. And it's a war. It's like a war that I'm fighting of survival. They're hitting me in my sleep. They're delusional people. Delusional, and there's so much money around it, and they think that they're receiving orders to do research and development for directed energy weapon systems. So it's very scary when they feel like they can do whatever the fuck they want. and I have no rights, and they can kill me and nobody's going to care, even though they're hiding it, even though if they were found out, people would rip them limb from limb and hang them. You know, they still in their heads are like, nobody cares about this guy, nobody's listening to targeted individuals, you know, we can do this. So they're very delusional and dangerous. These people that live in our country and other countries and are murdering citizens, experimenting on citizens, this is happening. I did want to talk, I was researching the Las Vegas gunman, and I'm not sure what the hell is going on with that. It's like the worst mass shooting in history. We seem to have the worst mass shooting in history every, you know, couple of months. It seems to just go up a notch, and it's always the worst one. So what the hell is going on there? But I did learn in my research that, and it was a very, very big red flag for me. No pun intended, because, you know, false flags. The dude worked for Lockheed Martin. So the guy worked for Lockheed Martin. Now Lockheed Martin is very, very involved. And there's another light change right when I roll up to it. I'm going to count it. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I'm going to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know if they can make them longer. 8, 9, 10. There you go, 10 seconds. It's not a regular light. See, they're very quick when it's these people fucking manipulating the lights. But the guy, the Las Vegas shooter, he did work at Lockheed Martin. He was like a rich guy who worked at Lockheed Martin. It's very suspicious to me because Lockheed Martin is very, very, very hip deep in the research and development of these directed energy weapon systems. So I don't know if he was maybe, you know, not just a regular targeted individual, but part of something far more sinister than what the regular protocol is, you know, for people like me, for regular people like me. But I'm very, very suspicious of that, and I'm kind of still researching it, and it's just awful. Please pray for the families of those who've lost loved ones. Please pray for those who were injured. Just pray for Las Vegas right now. We need to pray for Las Vegas. These things are incredibly satanic that are going on in our country and every other country. You know, our systems of power are playing games. They're setting things up. They're setting people up. They're playing with people's minds. And here's a state police, I think. Yeah, state police, state trooper, right there. You know, I've been out for a while. But anyway, so that was just a very, very red flag on that he did work for Lockheed Martin. So, and I know some other TIs who did work for Lockheed Martin, and now they're being heavily targeted. You know, sometimes the people who are in these entities, these agencies that are very involved with the gang stalking, with the directed energy weapon systems research and development, they get heavily attacked. People in those groups, if they leave or if something happens, you know, or even maybe even some people who do this stuff to people, they end up getting attacked. You know, Brian Coffin worked for security. Oh God, I can't. The business in Seattle, Washington. Security industry specialist. You know, he actually was involved in doing some of this. And please go to Gangstalker Wars, gangstalkerwars.com to see his story. And he is being heavily targeted right now. You know, they're trying to silence him because he was actually involved. It's a terrifying fear-based system with these people who are doing this stuff. There's a lot of fear that if they come out and speak about it, that they or their families will be threatened severely. They will become targeted individuals, their whole families. It's nasty satanic stuff. Alright guys, don't really have a whole lot planned in my head. Here's another one light SUV. I'm probably not getting any of that very good. I'll just give it a try.